I'll call the October planning board meeting to order. I'd like to welcome all those in attendance. Thank you for the town council to come and participate with us. Verify quorum is present. We have all our members here. So we don't have to call any alternate. So at this time, we'll review the August minutes. If you remember the minutes from last time, we put a hold on approving those because we wanted to find out about putting the information in about the modules we were learning. Everybody will take a look at the August minutes. We took it out.
Yeah, did you call them or did we just decide to stay out? We're okay with it or?
No, he's gonna edit them out on the video. He said if we didn't do it word for word, we could leave it. But I thought Will about it, so it's probably just better to take it out.
Okay.
So,
Less work too, better all around.
We had approved everything else last time, so, as you can see, that part's been removed, so. Any discussion on the minutes for our August meeting? Is there further discussion on the minutes? We have a motion to accept the minutes as written for August 26, 2025, planning board meeting.
so this,
We have a second. We have a second. All those in favor of accepting the minutes as written for August 26, 2025 meeting, please by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? There are none. All right, if you will turn your attention to the September 30th minutes. I have a few items, Sheila, starting on the first page, 460. Where it says Chairman Edwards stated, need a comma there.
we can call it there.
Is it?
Yes.
No, I'm talking about, close to the top of the.
I'm making notes, is that what you're talking about? Or I'll call the September 24th meeting?
Yes.
fact that there's a lot of you-knows and okays, and Josh Allen was stating that, we don't all complete our sentences, and we all do you know, and all that kind of thing. That's what that was in reference to.
All right.
One cricket.
Well,
One cricket.
what were we talking about?
Well, let me look at the one you printed off, because mine printed weird. I think it's on page 462. I think it says chairman ever stated. I just think it said it was typed twice. Or either I'm reading it wrong. Let's see, Mom, is it?
Chairman's statement is what we're approving. Prominent in the period, Chairman Edward stated, it says Chairman Edward.
Yes, it's just twice. I read it a couple times trying to make sure I was reading right.
The first one, you crossed out.
Anything else on page 462? Anybody see anything on page 463?
I wasn't at the meeting. See the emails in the planning board minutes, meeting. Were the emails read in the meeting? Anybody, any of those?
Well, Mr. Edwards just sent one to everybody, council, planning board members, and all that stuff.
To
Passed
answer your,
that night, but it was public record.
to answer your question, I did not read.
My question is, why is it in the planning board? Any of them, they're all public records. Anybody that wants the public record can get it. If we can go over this meeting, I don't know why.
They're in the minutes, so everybody will know what was done in reference and what applies or not in reference to Mr. Mary Fryer.
I just don't understand why they, put in the minutes, they won't discuss the meeting, the legal meeting, right, Yeah, I'm just, I wanna make sure. If they won't discuss it in the meeting, I don't know about
I mean, we could just simply
Well,
state that we,
it's okay,
that we
Josh.
discuss the email correspondences that were sent. So that there's at least a reference to the email. And somebody wants to email like, but yes, I mean, I see your point, we didn't, I mean, it's minutes, but we didn't actually say that
474. Let's see, 475. About 476, everybody good with that? Maybe? Four 77. See, 478. All right, if there's no other corrections that need to be made, I'd ask for a motion to accept the minutes with the mentioned corrections. A motion, for a motion for those items that we mentioned.
Be clear, so the motion is we accept the minutes as written, removing the email correspondence that were not a part of the meeting.
Correct.
Okay, so moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes as noted in the motion by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? There are none. All right, public comment. We have, appreciate you attending tonight. But we don't have anyone that's here that wishes to speak, so we're at the point where we're ready. Don't have any correspondence? All right. So then we're gonna turn it over to Joshua Hobbs. Joshua, really great to finally meet you, and get a chance to look at what you've been working on.
Nice to meet you too. And, bear with me a moment, I'll make that less blurry in a second.
Yes, please.
Do you need to move it back a little bit, Matt, without helping?
No, I'm trying to email I'm trying to open my email, so it just said to email something from the other laptop, because the Apple one won't connect to that projector. It might not be able to get much clearer than that.
That's pretty
But
good.
y'all can get the idea, I suppose.
So that.
I promise there are words in there. recap and introduce myself to everybody, for whoever I haven't introduced myself to yet. My name is Joshua Hollis. I'm with the Communities Commission as a planner there. And just to kind of recap what we are doing as far as the total scope of everything. I'll go ahead and hit the zoning map first. So included in the contract is a revised zoning map. What we're doing is just making sure that any new, I don't think we really had too many like rezonings or anything to include really too much. So really we kind of just modernized the look of it, but it's kind of retained the exact same zoning, creating any additional changes if there were any. And then aside from that, what we were also doing, we have been working on just making like a template ordinance for a while back. Something that we can have a reference where we can pull different language for, since we work with so many different towns. We were just kind of adding on to this thing as we went, as every town would want like an additional thing, if it might be like a tiny import regulation section. We were just kind of building really this generic ordinance full of template language that can kind of be used, or makeshift used for really any town, and then just kind of modified towards that town's need. So that is something that we've had on the back end, and what we've agreed to do is to update all of the town's ordinances and then combine them into one single document divided by 3 books. And we really have a lot of template language that can be added on or replaced if there is any additional language that's existing within any of the standalone ordinances or whatnot that may be outdated or may be needing some sort of revision. But our goal is to really retain the intent and the existing language of the town unless we're requested to change or add in anything that we've got. Or work on a new section if needed. So really the primary goal is to really retain the language, update it per North Carolina General Statute so that it's compliant. I think you already had a lot of the compliance with 160D for the zoning information, but that, Senate Bill 300, as far as like the penalties go, making sure that everything is really up to date per general statutes. And then on top of that, we have that template language ordinance that we can kind of go and pull from, or workshop or change, really whatever the town feels is a priority or certain sections that need to be updated. And we've had a lot of the main ones being like nuisance sections and updating the penalty sections, and then just really kind of slimming down any additional language that's sort of redundant, that's already, that could be solved with a reference to like the general statutes rather than trying to repeat it. And I will preface before I go into the, well, let me talk about the zoning map first, I guess. The zoning map, this is the draft that we've got currently. I don't believe that there were any additional, part of me thought that I remember you mentioning that there was some rezoning, but I was trying to go back through our email and I couldn't find.
I don't think it will.
I might have been confusing you with a different town, but I was for sure that there was some area that was supposed to be rezoned.
I don't think so, Brian.
We haven't had any rezoning of any property that I can recall except since we did the town hall.
Any annexations or anything? So it's really kind of stayed the same.
Yeah.
We did that rezoning several years ago. We rezoned all that for Marshall's and all that.
That's right, there were some rezoning
Yeah, we did
areas.
that. That was, I can't remember when it was.
We went from industrial
Yeah.
to, commercial.
That was a chicken place.
Just pulling back up my little comments, but I'm going to jump right into the actual draft itself. I had really hoped to be able to have it cleaned up enough to where I can print off copies to provide to everybody, and it'd be a lot of copies, but it's probably going to be next week before I'm able to provide that. first had done our initial meeting, I think you were provided the zoning ordinance and, the subdivision ordinance, and then I think you later sent that, what was it, the waste ordinance that y'all just adopted. I think we were provided the general ordinance after the second meeting, and I didn't even realize that I'd already put in a ton of template language from our existing ordinance into the book one. So I gotta go back through and make sure that there's nothing just kept in there, that I'm not throwing things at y'all that y'all haven't asked for.
That's fine.
So I'm gonna have to go back and clean that up. Also, I've switched over to using LibreOffice because I'm really getting sick and tired of Word. Word, whenever you're doing like automated like headings, like numbered headings, even if you have it like set up like a multi-level list, and you edit something and you have it unchecked as far as not automatically updating, if you actually click within one of the styles and change anything, it will edit the entire document.
Oh,
So I've switched over to using LibreOffice, so I had to transfer it over, so it does look a little weird. There's some extra line spacings in the document right now, but that could be easily fixed within the next week too. So I'll have the draft provided to you via email at least, and if you need me to come bring some paper copies, I can. So it's gonna look a little bit awkward, well, certain parts of the bill. Oh, that's okay. I'm opening the Lewis and Woodville one as well, just because I wanted to mention one thing right off the front, because it happens to appear on the front page. But I'm just going to go ahead and ask y'all this anyway, since it's right here in the front page. It doesn't look that great. There's a giant blank space right now because I didn't know where to find the seal for the town. Y'all have a town?
Not yet, we're actually currently in the process of getting a town seal, but they are backed up in their workload, and so we haven't obtained it, but we're still working on it.
Okay, I was going to offer one thing that we've done for some of the other towns, like Lewis and Woodville, we kind of, since some of them don't have the existing, or maybe they have like a really, really old emblem or seal, we've been just making little logo emblems to go in place of it, and I was just going to show Lewis and Woodville as an example. Like that's one that we made for them, if I can get it to the center of the screen. I don't know why it looks compressed. It is a circle on my side, but I think that might be the screen, so just imagine that doesn't look distorted. But so if y'all want us to make one for y'all, then we can just add it. If not,
That'd be fine.
Okay.
What do y'all think?
I just think it looks nice to have something in the front.
I would say maybe leave it blank for now, and then when we get our town seal, finalized,
Yeah, I can add it back
and
in.
add it back to us.
Mr. Chair, before we get started, or Mr. Chair and Josh, so just so we're clear when we're starting this, we were gonna get a draft, but now we're gonna go over this, and then we're gonna get a paper copy after. Can you run us through kind of what the next steps are?
Yeah,
Back
that's
in-
one thing I want to do.
Yeah, back in April, the planning board asked to get the consultant involved, going through the ordinances, and then I was under the impression that we would work with Josh or someone, running through and asking questions and working through some of the, the hot topics.
Yes.
Then you went to the town council meeting, and now we're here, and so I just wanna make sure I understand what's the process from here going forward to work, for the planning board to work on our code, ordinances.
Well, it really is up to you guys, but I have a recommendation that I was kind of thinking out of the timeline as far as how we can kind of move forward with it.
Okay.
Because this isn't a clean copy. I do have notes throughout. I have like a little comment section that I've added at the end of every section, primarily to mention what was retained, where it came from, and then what was changed, if anything was changed.
Okay.
So that was primarily the main thing that we had to change in terms of our process, because we were trying to do with other towns, when we first had kind of started these contracts, we were trying to do those changes along with the recommendations and then the, wishes of the town as far as like things that they want to add in. And it was kind of mixing the legal updates that are required and the formatting along with additional creative changes, and it was just getting so confusing to try and make it transparent to everybody what was being, moved around and whatnot.
Okay.
So what we kind of had started doing is trying to make the first draft primarily, except for like the legal provisions, but primarily it's the town's existing language, and then we have comments throughout this as far as like recommendations below each section, if we do think that something should be changed. And then that way we can go back in using like track changes to make any of the creative edits.
Okay.
So getting the legal stuff out of the way and then.
Back in, I look back at our minutes from when we were last working on our ordinances as a group. We were just going through and starring and having discussion, and we were getting to points where we knew there was things we want to work on, but we need to know our legal options of changes and things. So I feel like our board was assuming you'd come in and consult and help us work through some of our ideas and questions about things we felt need to be updated or whatnot. So that's still going to happen after some of the legal.
We still have time for that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to push past that.
Okay. All right.
Because that's one of the main things that we've really been doing for these
Yeah,
contracts.
that was my understanding. So I just want to make sure that part wasn't missed because I think our group had some really good questions and ideas and things. And I want to be sure that part didn't get missed.
Yeah, and I have already tried to include a few of those things, and I've made sure to note it, that it, I can pull it back up here, but I've gotten some running lists separately that the town sent to me, just trying to keep track of the things that we had discussed. So, really, what I had been doing in this thing, and I can kind of pull it back up and go down to the random section to show you what I mean. Where is it? Oh, it's a PDF. I wish I had the table of contents on the PDF side of it, or the thing off to the left. I'm so used to using that outline when I'm trying to jump to a certain section.
So once you get that pulled up, Josh, I believe Councilman Jackson had a question.
Sure. Yeah, I was just going to jump to some certain random section. Like this is the comment section that I've been mentioning. I've got all of those as grayed out.
Okay.
You're going to see those scattered throughout. And also, currently I've got the backslash before anything that I put within the actual text itself, like the body of it. So like I have a lot of backslash / like verify, or sometimes I'll have like a question for the town if there's something that I feel like is a recommendation. But we do have language to go into place if y'all are on board with those recommendations, but for the sake of not trying to meddle with the existing language and throwing our recommendations in there at the same time, I've just got it boxed out. So you will see that throughout. Like this is the penalty section that was revised to just meet the requirements for Senate Bill 300, which really took the teeth out of like enforcing development-related applications. So, and just to hit on that again, it's hard to tell right now, but the entire document is broken up between 3 books. So book 1 being the foundation, so the core governance, administration, and procedures primarily. So it's really the legal provisions. And we broke up the other 2 books, book 2 and book 3, with book 2 being the general ordinances, so the police powers of the town. I guess it's running in there, isn't it? Yeah, and that's what I was mentioning right then. I just took that section out because I had so much of my draft template language. So I just redacted that for the sake of this meeting so it didn't look wild and I threw someone off. But yeah, the book 2, general ordinances, that'll be all the public welfare conduct, really health, safety, and welfare, police power type related things. And then book 3 would be is technical ordinances, which is the land use and development based regulations. So per Senate Bill 300, it really only affects development related applications, and the statutes kind of break it up fairly clearly what is considered a technical ordinance versus what's considered a general ordinance. So it just made it a little bit clearer to break it that way, with the penalty section being in the front. But stuff like that, I've kind of got that explained throughout one of those little below each section comments. But what I'd like to do is to be able to provide this to you after I go back, and there's a few things like some extra line spacing after I convert it to LibreOffice, and a few other formatting things, and then I just have to go back through that book 1 just to make sure that I didn't have any additional template language stuff in there that I didn't need to have after they provided me the actual county's general ordinances. So I can get that done in the next week, and I can go ahead and email it over to you guys, along with, you will see some changes in there which are noted as far as the, some of the things that we've already discussed. And from there, I'm hoping that we could possibly meet that. I think we had talked about a date. I don't know how firm that could be, but
We haven't discussed it.
They haven't discussed. We'll discuss it at the end. I got a question.
sure.
So in our current ordinance, we have a lot of 160D general statute language. I'm assuming that's going to be in this updated as well, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things we've been really having to hit on for a lot of towns that didn't already have it. I did find a few things, like there were some 160D citations for counties instead of the town citations, so I did fix a few of those. But y'all were pretty good as far as being in there for at least book 3 development related stuff goes, which is better than most towns. So many of them don't already have really anything related to 160D still. But I'll go ahead and just hit on the plan, I guess. It doesn't have to be that date that we talked about, but my plan would be to provide this version to you guys, give you time to read through it, kind of look at my recommendations, and then y'all can even possibly think of additional sections or things that y'all feel might need to be included that's not even there. It might not be a section that's existing at all yet. We have different towns want different things. Right now, we're doing a tiny home ordinance for one town, so this is something that they wanted to have included. But we have so much language that we can kind of really attack any addition or revision that y'all would like to have done. But this will at least go ahead and give y'all an idea of what was changed as far as the required changes just to meet state statutes, and then just reformat it into those 3 books. And then if we can meet back, whatever day it would be, I think we had talked about, if I can,
Was it the 18th?
I thought it was the 28th? No,
No, it's good, it's too close to Thanksgiving.
oh, there we go. I put it on the 18th, yeah, Tuesday the 18th. I know that that's not a set in stone thing, but really whatever y'all feel comfortable with as far as having enough time to read through the document, and then coming up with some ideas of things that y'all have already thought about that y'all know need to have additionally updated apart from the things that I've already tried to update from our previous conversations. So we can kind of meet back on that stuff, and then that way we're not like skipping over the wants of the town as far as getting everything modernized and also addressing things the town needs to address.
So when are you anticipating having a copy over to Sheila so she can print it?
To be safe, I'm going to tell you Friday. I've already got 2 more meetings next week that I'm trying to prepare for. So I don't know if you saw my calendar for this week. It's just.
So that will be November 7th. That would give us. Well,
I actually thought, and I probably won't agree, but since the holiday, everybody January after the holidays. And that'd give everybody 2 months to review it and write any questions they had and how to start without everybody having family plans and family functions and holidays. I mean, that's just a suggestion.
Well, I do agree with what Sheila says. It would give us time to look through it
But 2 months should be ample time.
and not have to rush, because if we anticipate it coming back on the 18th, that's only really giving us a week.
Yeah, I'm fine with whatever y'all like to do, regarding whatever y'all feel most comfortable with as far as time to read through and think things.
Well, I just know everybody's busy about this time of year, plus they all have public jobs and, you know, they got things they got to do besides read through the ordinance.
Well, it's important.
It is, I'm not belittling, I'm just saying,
No, I
everybody's got
get it.
stuff they have to do. I mean, you know,
Mr.
besides
Chair.
that.
Now, when we meet back in January, could it be a work day or workshop time where we can ask specific questions and you advise us?
Yeah, and I'm honestly fine with y'all, messaging me throughout the time before your meeting.
Right, okay,
So I can go, it can be a moving conversation.
okay. I just wanna be sure that we can really look at the topics that are important to our citizens and our board, and not try to do a mass fix and say, okay, we're done. I mean, I think there's things we wanna talk about, and get your expertise on what you see other towns do.
That sounds very good.
That, from meeting with our board, that seems to be what everybody had in mind. I think
No,
that's.
we do need to bear in mind, we had 5 meetings in our contract.
And I'm willing to go a little bit past 5, because I know in the last meeting, I really didn't have much of an update for you guys.
I was just letting them know, because I didn't want to think we had unlimited meetings that we don't.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, this is our first one.
They met with the town council.
This is our first one.
Our
Right,
first one,
yeah,
and
right.
we requested the consultant in April, and this is our first one.
Yeah, so.
Just saying.
Yeah, we're right.
Yeah, Evan, I'm sorry.
In this ordeal in bringing y'all on board to help with the ordinances to upgrade up with the planning board, is it normal, obviously you've done this with other municipalities, do you normally meet personally with the planning board? Because this is the first meeting, it looks like it should have been before we got to this point, that you would have met with them prior to this. What is the norm with your other municipalities?
Well, and to be honest with you, some of the ones that we've already dealt with, the board acted as a planning board. But, for the most part, we try to hit the planning board first. But with this whole thing being an entire ordinance update, we have had an issue once with one of the first ones we did, where the planning board had made a ton of recommendations, and then it got all the way to the council, and they did not want those changes. So it's something that I would like to, I don't know a good way to kind of solve that, but it's nice to have everyone kind of on the same page at the same time for something this.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, everybody needs to be on the same page. But it's just like getting to this point and working through what you've done already. It would have been better if we would have had input and back and forth with the planning board. Just my thoughts.
Which I realize that some of that may have, I mean, obviously the mayor dealt with you directly, setting this up and then coming with the council, so I'm assuming it was set up that way.
Yeah, I was kind of told where you could show up at the time.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
figured.
it was like putting the cart before the horse, but.
Yeah, I understand your point.
I mean, do you see it that way?
Yeah, I mean, it's typical for things, or it's normal for things to go to the planning board first.
Okay.
Really.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah.
That's what the planning board historically, that's the pattern that has been done in the past, and we're making sure we're on the same page with you.
And really those, first meetings, we kind of just let the town, for the introductory provide a draft before, if they do have a planning board, before giving it to the planning board, at least at the same time. Yeah, so we weren't trying to leave anyone out, it's just, we were trying to, I guess, do it however the town wanted us to handle it, along with, or at least giving an initial introduction to the town board.
And I believe you also said the first time to me, you wanted to hear from the council, what the council wanted out of it. I believe it was what you said. I believe y'all said, it was Sam said the first time before we met with y'all, y'all wanted to come in and meet the council first to see what the council's,
Yeah.
what the council ideally wanted out of the
Yes, it's nice to know. that they
redoing of
kind
the
of-
regulations, I guess is the right.
So, what you're gonna send us, what you suggesting that it's just the wording and the changes, you have outline what you, that's what we're gonna give them, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be just the reformatted version and like my notes explaining where things came from, just so everything's transparent about where the language existed already. And then along with any updates that we made, whether it be like the required statutory updates, we have a comment. Well, I mentioned it in the comment section for the end of every section, so that way it's not left out. But moving forward, after we start to make some more creative changes, I'm planning to do that just in walkthrough, depending on how much effort to add on, just so it doesn't get continuously adding on top of things. But anyway, that's my plan, just to go ahead and get that cleaned up, send that to you guys, and then really it's up to y'all, however y'all want to, how long y'all would like to have to look through things and think over additional, I mean, maybe y'all want to meet again yourself, kind of discuss other things that y'all would like to have added on. And then, and other than that, I don't have really much else to kind of go through. If anyone else has any other questions for me, I'm available, and feel free to reach out afterwards to if you think of something after the meeting.
So, is email probably the best way to communicate with you?
Yes, probably. You can try calling me, but I run in and out all the time, just going with different things, so.
All right. Do you have business cards with you? If not, I got your email address, I can share it.
I wish I did. I meant to bring some. I tell myself that just every meeting, but I don't think I do.
Well,
Josh, you got it to Josh.
Josh just suggested this, that maybe if they've got something they've got a question about or something they want to bring up, send it to me, and that way I send it to you, and there's only one point of contact. That way you're only getting emails from me.
I appreciate that.
Yes, I know.
150.
Yeah, I do too, so we'll try to help you out best we can, so.
Well, I'll, like I said, I'll go ahead and send that over next week, and then, I guess I'll just wait to hear back from you guys as far as anything.
And so then, they can do it today, or they can wait and call you.
We'll, at the end of this meeting, we'll discuss, our next meeting, and we'll go ahead and plan for the January meeting.
All right. Any other questions?
Anybody got anything else they would like to ask me? Well, appreciate you coming and kind of giving us a glimpse of what it is, and definitely glad we got to meet you and kind of get the conversation started tonight.
Nice to meet you guys, and sorry it took like a year to set that projector up, but I'm gonna have to kind of undo that whole process right now.
All right, if we'll turn our attention to, I'm putting together some stuff related to minutes. I pulled some examples.
Yeah, one for Richard.
I know. Apologize.
This one, we got one for this one.
You need?
No, I got one.
We can share
did some research on, what format, public, minutes need to be. So I pulled a couple of things. The first thing is something I found, offline. I'm gonna kind of go through it, but, minutes for the North Carolina Planning Board meeting should include the date, time, and location, a list of attendees, including absentees, those participating remotely, the start and end times, and record of all decisions made, such as motions passed or denied. The minutes should be concise and informative, focusing on business discussed, and should not include personal opinions or excessive detail. And it's got to break down the sensitive elements, meeting identification, attendance, meeting details, record of business, signatures, if any signatures need to be, follow agenda, be concise. I won't read all of it. Then I pulled something from the UNC School of Government. They have a lot of good resources. The last paragraph on the first page describes minutes and criminal accounts. And then the second page has some additional information. And also in one of our minutes that we had in the very back of it, it was our August minutes. It has a section from the general statutes that refers to the public bodies of the public. So I just wanted to point that out. If anybody wants to see what the general statutes state about the minutes. It's the last paragraph, but it says every public body shall keep keep full and accurate minutes of all official meetings, including any closed session held pursuant to General Statute 143, 318, 11. Such minutes may be in written form or at the Oxford public body, in the form of sound or video or sound recordings. When a public body meets in closed session, it shall keep a general account of the closed session so that a person not in attendance would have a reasonable understanding of what transpired. Such accounts may be written, narrative, or video or audio recordings. Such minutes and accounts shall be public records within the meaning of public records law, General Statute 2, provided however the minutes or an account of a closed session in compliance with General Statute 143, 11 may be withheld from public inspection so long as public inspection would frustrate the purpose of a closed session. So that's what the general statute, I wanted to read that. That was part of our minutes from August 26th. So what I did also is I went out and we found a lot of things online. I found an example of the National County Planning Board recommending meetings. And I said, well, let's just go out here and pull Wake County up just to see, are they similar in format. And I like the National County format. It's very similar to the Wake County, but I'd like to see us go to this kind of format where we are putting the accurate information in there. We've looked through a lot of these minutes and we see where we don't talk in complete sentences.
Just be careful.
We're just talking in general, so I'd like to see us go to this type of format. And basically have,
It's a summary.
yeah, it's a summary.
So it's easier, might be easier for us to read, so if there's a topic we're on, then it can be listed, the discussion and then the outcome. And you could look at it and you could, make sort of a bullet
that's why I wanted to bring an example of one where they've got the members present, they even list the public that's there, the members. They've got that call for determined quorum, approval of the minutes, which we have all that now, but when it gets down to the meat of what we're discussing, it's broken down. It doesn't have that back and forth, all that back and forth conversation.
So an example of what you're saying, on the second page of the county, under point 5, conditional rezoning, I see down here in the bottom, the following 4 individuals addressed the board in the opposition, and then they were listed. So it doesn't have all the conversational stuff, it summarizes it.
Right, and in our case, we're already videoing it, so we've got a YouTube video, so if somebody gets our minutes and they say, hey, I'd like to see, go in depth to see what exactly somebody said in detail, then they can go watch the YouTube video. So, this is a thought. I think it's good for us to go to this type of format. It makes the minutes not so wordy. So I'd like to see what everyone else's thoughts are on the planning board about moving to this type of format.
I don't remember word for word what you read about the general election, but it seems to apply to just having a video recording of the meeting meets the requirement of having minutes.
It does, that's
So,
what it says.
I don't think we need to be as concerned about having
It's
every
easier to
detail
read too.
in the written minutes because
Right.
the video recording is the minutes.
Right.
It is as detailed as you could
I
possibly.
mean, we still need to have a written minute.
Yeah, I agree.
We got the video with everything, but the minutes can be, precise, related to just that one permit or variance or whatever we're dealing with, and you can have it broke down.
Yeah, this is easier to read because, we're discussing, we kind of go back and forth, and our discussion looks confusing when it's written, and it's not, it's not, but this would make it look a little easier to reference and easier to know where we landed.
I think we'll save the town clerk some time.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, do you think it would be easier?
It's like a summary.
Sheila, do you think it would be easier or more difficult?
I do what you want to do.
Because I mean, in one regard, it seems like it'd be easier to not have to go back and listen to type every,
Yeah.
But, if you're just summarizing it, it's kind of your,
I'll do whatever the town council does for me to do. I'll do what I'm told. I'll do my job.
So, I'd like to make a motion that we recommend going to this type format for our minutes. Is that something we have to send to the town council to have them
I
approve?
would probably say, when you do your presentation to the planning board about what was done at the meeting, I would say suggest it then, and let you decide.
Okay.
I do think it would be beneficial, especially going in and working on our ordinances. It'll be beneficial for the upcoming minutes of the coming meetings also to make it real easy to read.
well, I mean, and our audience is a general public too, so it would be a lot easier to read a summary than to read
Right.
pages of back and forth.
Right. So, so I just need to present that to the town council at their next town council meeting.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion. And they can vote on it, they'll be able to tell me whether or not they're going to change it.
Okay.
So we'll make a motion to recommend,
Yeah,
to recommend that to the board.
yeah, let's need to do a motion as a recommendation to the board, and then I'll present that. Well, Sheila will have it in the record, but then I'll present it when I go and give them the report.
Yeah, so point of order, you actually have a motion on the floor right now, so I guess we need to start right there.
All right, any discussion about the motion?
So which specific format you want the council to get?
Yeah, what does everybody think? Do they like the Nash County or the Wake County? I prefer the Nash County.
I will put that in their packet, so everybody can discuss it with them, so
Okay.
that they can look at it if
I've already got a copy, so we can.
Good, I'll get it.
Okay.
Just want to get it first.
All right, well, now we got a motion, we have it, we need a second.
So you made the motion, right?
I made the motion. Do we have a second?
I would say.
Okay, Ivan said second. All those in favor of recommending to the town council that we follow the Nash example that we have in the Nash County Planning Board minutes by saying aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? All right, there are none, so that motion passes. All right, let's move on to discussing when we can meet again. All right, so
So he said he'd have that stuff within a week, right?
You said you would try to have it soon, right?
Yes. We'll get that.
But I got that time to plan.
Oh,
But I will be guilty.
Yeah, I'll think
Yeah, just email me, I don't need that, just email.
Well, when I email you, please send back, I got
Okay.
it, so I don't have to look at it. Okay.
all right, so Thanksgiving week is when we would normally have our meeting. That's obviously gonna be a busy week for all of us. So, and then we normally meet the last Tuesday of the month, so that would be December. We want to have a meeting, earlier in November to continue with the, either continue with the E-modules, or do we want to have a meeting to discuss what we end up getting from him?
My personal opinion is, if we get something in the next week, we'll have a week to at least review it, but while it's fresh on our mind, I would love to get back together, even if just to make some notes, and, we can do one learning module, but keep it fresh on our mind before we're out for Thanksgiving, all the year.
I agree, that's a big break, so.
Yeah.
That would mean, November 15th, that would be the third Tuesday night. How's
Not me, I will be.
If we're doing a workshop,
I was supposed to do
I
next
just make
week.
suggestions in the workshop, and then
do what now?
if we're gonna be going over what we're talking about in the ordinances, I don't think we can put a workshop in there.
Oh, the month, okay.
I mean, that's,
I can do the 17th or the 19th, I can't do the 18th.
Can you set dates?
I know y'all like Tuesdays, but I can't do that.
how about Thursday the 20th?
I can do Thursday.
So does everybody go with a Thursday the 20th? All right. Thursday,
And that meeting is for us to go over, to discuss what we've looked at on our own, and
correct.
make notes, and just.
Correct. Yeah.
And we could at that time construct our first email from you to Josh, with our first set.
Yeah, I'll take notes and
Okay.
at 7 p.m. All right.
we could possibly finalize some stuff to be able to send to the board, like, if the language makes sense, the little changes they make little changes, you can go ahead and recommend that the board to keep that in there. That way he can keep working on new stuff instead of.
Right.
So I mean, have we talked, so he brought up this scenario where he worked with the planning board and then it went to the town council and they didn't want to make those. Do we have anything in place to prevent that from happening
Well,
here?
Yeah, I would suggest that if we're.
So, I was on the planning board when we did it last time, so as the planning board got through certain sections of it, and we got it ready, and Colleen, you correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm not remembering correctly, but I think we got a certain point done, and they would get it finalized, and then it got sent to the town council, and the town council sat down, and they went through and reviewed it.
Hey, he got here.
And there were things that the council
I didn't have
reviewed
Josh's number, but I have your number. And I
before
was,
we
I was
changed the
just, I was
ordinance,
just
reviewed and
concerned
sent
for him.
back to us, so.
That he was all
But
right.
it wasn't a lot,
I'm
it was,
sorry, I should
you
have
know,
covered that.
there was some.
I didn't know if it was your word, and I didn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
you work for
I know, I'm sorry, Al.
Yeah, that sounds great. I would hate for us to go through all that effort back and forth with him and be like, okay, we've got.
I was worried about it.
And then like, no.
It wasn't a lot, from memory, it was not a lot.
All right.
There were a few things that the council reviewed and said, hey, we'd like for y'all to take another look at this, and kind of gave some suggestions and sent back to some.
And it's, you know, you eat an elephant a bite at a time, it's a little less overwhelming, but you give a section at a time, and just keep a good pace.
So as we get through some of it, we can give it to him, he can get it updated. So. What we can do at the November meeting, because we don't normally have a December meeting at all. When we have our November meeting on the 20th, we can decide on our January meeting. Before I ask for a motion to adjourn, I'll just ask, is there anything that any of the council members would like to say? Anybody got any comments? I was just asking, is there any council members that have any comment that they would like to? Okay. All right.
Thank y'all for a good job.
Appreciate what y'all doing.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate getting a consultant. We started off the first of the year going through this thing, and we have more questions and answers, and I think we have good questions, and I think they'll have suggestions and answers, but we just gotta link it up.
And that's why I didn't understand why they didn't meet with y'all earlier, before this point.
All right.
I think that would have helped.
Taking all the land and everything. So I get to the development, but that's because we had to do it. Property and all over the whole town. It was a
Yeah, when we did it last time, we did a land use plan, hazard mitigation plan, we did the ordinance. I mean, it stretched on for, it was like I said before, the original ordinance was like 40-some pages, and then we went through and upgraded to what we got now, so it was a major undertaking. Before we adjourn, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. It was an ugly night to have to get out, but definitely appreciate everybody's attendance in coming out. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, we got a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
second.
All right, we have a second. All those in favor of adjourning by saying aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? There are none.
We're gonna steal all that.